KHTS. I'm Bella, and I'm back after a couple months. And instead of being interviewed, we are actually going to be interviewing. And how do you feel about that, Nathan?
Well, I'm also back after about 2 months, and being able to interview for me is a little bit special since I haven't been able to interview since last year. And being interviewed last time was actually a little treat for me because this is the first time I've ever been interviewed. And Bella, how about you introduce our guest host with us today?
We've been on the radio before, but Robert is actually new to the radio. And how is that for you, Robert?
It is my first time. I'm Robert. I'm 15. I'm a sophomore at SCVi, and I'm here because I want to put myself out there. And yeah, do you want to introduce our guest?
Before we introduce our special guest we're going to interview, I would like to give us a little insight of our teacher / coach, Miss Cindy. She's going to be here with us today to help us interview our special guest we have with us today.
Yeah, hi. All right, so tell us about who's here.
Our special guest we're going to be interviewing first thing today is the Mayor Pro Tem of Santa Clarita Valley, Miss Laurene Weste. Hello, Miss Laurene.
Well, what a delight to be with some excited students and teachers that are putting themselves out there, and I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Now, before we start interviewing, I would like to say a little bit of your background information. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Now, you have served on the City Council since 1998. Is this true?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted
Is
to
this
make sure.
true or false?
Yeah, I want to make sure
I do
it's
good
right.
with true or false questions.
We're
Anyway.
going to get a white light out here
Yeah.
and go like, is this true?
I just want to make sure.
We gotta have a sense of humor.
You were at one time the Commissioner for Parks and Recreation Commission, and you are now the Mayor Pro Tem of Santa Clarita Valley.
No, I am the Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Santa Clarita.
Oh, yes.
And there is a difference.
Sorry.
So we are a city
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So we actually didn't say it before, but the theme of this show is going to actually be following the theme of Thanksgiving, and we are basically just going to be talking about giving back to our community and volunteering, and we'll be including a couple ways you can actually volunteer in our community. So yeah, in 5 words. Oh wait, let's get back to the interview. In 5 words, tell us what you liked most about living in Santa Clarita.
It's hometown. It's the best part.
Ooh, that would be 5 words, wouldn't it?
5.
It's hometown best
Oh,
part.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice job.
Do you have any family here?
Yes, almost all my family's here. I've been here most of my life, and I think people love Santa Clarita because, we're a pretty big town now, and we have all kinds of wonderful things, trail system, open space, parks, great community. We're giving, we take care of our own, we're family, and we're not LA, which is the very best part of Santa Clarita. But, I think one of the things like this morning, we're all getting together and we're just kind of talking about the holidays and sharing and getting, that warm feeling. That's what it is in Santa Clarita. It's a warm feeling. And I love it. I really do.
What, in your opinion, what was it like to be the Mayor Pro Tem?
Well, before you tell us about that, can you tell us what the Mayor Pro Tem is and how you become a Mayor Pro Tem? And
Yeah.
We are unfamiliar and we would like to know.
Well, we have an elected city council. We have elections. Your term is 4 years, and every 4 years you can run for election. The mayor is picked by the vote of the city council to represent the policies. The mayor has no more power than the rest of the council. We all have one vote. So the mayor basically takes whatever we're doing and goes out in the community and represents the policies of what's happening with the city. And the pro tem stands in for the mayor when the mayor is unavailable, which does happen. So if the mayor can't be here, I lead a meeting. If there are things to go out and do to present or share or you're requested, I do that. The mayor's job is very time consuming. You sort of say goodbye at the beginning of the year to your family, and at the end of the year say, hello, it's almost Christmas, here we are again, because you're out at events and swearing ins and ribbon cuttings and doing things that Scouts will ask you to do, or the Elks, or Zonta, or Seroptimus, and all the different groups. The fabric of this community, you have a couple hundred nonprofits, and the fabric of this community is rich. And so there's a lot of interaction with that. So the mayor is very busy all year going out and representing the votes and the positions, and also sharing what we're doing. We're doing a lot right now. We got our 2020 goals, and we're sharing all that with the community. So Mayor Pro Tem just sort of will work, to support the mayor's job and do what needs to be done through the year. And then at the end of the year, usually you are voted to be the mayor for the next year.
A little question. Have you ever done a ribbon cutting ceremony before?
Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Is it fun for you, or?
Oh, it's always exciting. I did the ribbon cutting for SCVi with the school. And it is, because usually it's the start of something that the community wants. New business, a new school, a new park, a new road, a new library. It's something wonderful because it's something people have wanted and waited for. And so, yes, it's always fun.
And we understand you were there when SCVi did its ribbon cutting.
Yes.
That was 10 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Successful. Look at where you are 10 years later. And I've been up many times, I've watched classrooms, I've helped with the lotteries. That's always tough because somebody doesn't get it right then. But they've done a wonderful job, and I've been very proud to have been able to support and to come see, the advancements that the school has made.
What's your favorite part about SCVi?
Well, it started really small. It was a concept. It was an idea. It was totally different. And every child, a parent has to assess what the best form and way to educate their child is. And we have all kinds of wonderful schools here in Santa Clarita. And SCVi was just something a little different. And it allowed, I think, for students that are kind of wanting to be more creative and with a little less structure, but major goals in front of them that they'd have to achieve. And so I've enjoyed watching how that's come about. But then you started really small, and then you got really big, and you were in this little building, and now it's the whole center. And it's been wonderful. And I've come to quite a few of the fundraisers, too.
Would you say that the learners have changed over the last 10 years?
Well, it's become more stabilized as to what the format is and the learning process. I think the students learn, and the school learns how to teach the students who are learning even more. And it's a real interesting process.
So Thanksgiving's coming up. Do you do any volunteering?
I usually do. I usually serve meals, and I usually, help wrap things for people that need it, or help collect toys, clothes, things that are necessary in the holidays for those that are less fortunate. And I donate. I go to a lot of charity functions, and I always donate. So yes, the holidays are busy with that.
So as the Mayor Pro Tem, can you walk us through a day? Like, can you walk us through a day, Mayor Pro Tem Laurene Weste? What's it like for you?
I'm here. Well, this morning I was on the phone doing back and forth work on multiple subjects with the county. And the city. Visited yesterday with Supervisor Barger on Arts Center. This morning was doing wrap-up conversations on that with the city manager's office. I'm here. The next thing I will do is have a meeting with sanitation, and then I will go and have a major board meeting for several hours with Los Angeles Animal Care and Control, of which I'm part of the foundation. And then we save animals and raise money for all the 6 county shelters. And I was one of the people that helped start that, and I'm also the lady that wrote your animal abuse law for the state of California. So,
oh, yay,
Yay.
protecting our babies.
those are our family, right?
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
And then, I'll probably do a park meeting this evening, but and I have to take care of my animals. The ranch, I have 7 horses, so that takes, that's the early 6 o'clock a.m. feeding, and then the 5 o'clock p.m. feeding, and so I fit all that in. And I'll go over to City Hall and meet with secretary and sign documents and read emails and then write responses. And it's just busy all the time. This weekend, we're going to light up Main Street. We're going to meet the train with Supervisor Barger at 4 o'clock. Then we're going to light up Main Street. I will go over to the Boys and Girls Club's Festival of Trees and be there. And then I will go up to Elks, who's having their 50th anniversary. So it's a lot of movement, and of course it's all over town. So it's a lot to do, but it's wonderful and heartwarming.
Quick little question. So you told us some interesting and a little fascinating tidbits about being the mayor pro tem. What do you think is probably the most boring part? Like, what do you think? What's your least favorite activity?
Oh, my least favorite activity, that's easy. We get stacks of documents about this big that need to be read in a week. And the documents themselves, I mean, it's all interesting information, but it's a lot of repetitive law, environment, CEQA, and you're going through that, and then you have to ascertain the questions of things that you need to know so that you can make decisions and vote and be cognizant of all of the requirements on a particular subject. So it's a lot to go through. And I love to read. I have always been a reader, fascinated with just about any subject. I'll read about it. But those kind of documents are the ones that will put you to sleep. So it is a lot to do. Sometimes we don't have it every day, but when we get it, it's a lot to work through.
And what's your favorite part about being the mayor, doing your job?
People are the best part. We get to help people. Somebody comes, they have a crisis, they have something. It's nice to be able to help direct them where they need to go. Worked on the Newhall, the restoration of the Newhall School's auditorium that was built, back in the late 30s, and that's taken a long time, but it's not fully restored. We have this beautiful, historic, neo-modern 539-seat theater, which the Newhall School District's working on partnering, so that we can have every kind of art program there for this valley, because we have a lot of groups, singers, ballet, orchestra, choirs. It's just an immense amount of talent in our valley. So, I've worked on that project and worked on Old Town Newhall. And I am thrilled the progress we as a community are making. We are doing a good job.
We know that also the parks are really important to you. And having 26 miles park around the city, or can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, that's passion for me. When we became a city, we had 7 parks. I went on the first Parks Commission, and my goal was to have the best in the nation Parks Department and programs, and I was already working on trails. I was a big advocate for trails. We started with 7 parks. Today we have 34.
Wow.
34.
That's awesome.
It is. And we started with 0 trails. We had none. We now have over 85 miles.
Wow.
And nobody has that. Nobody. And then in 2007, I was really wanting, the city had tried open space in 2006, and it's a complicated subject to explain how that works, but I had to find a way in 2007 to work through that, and did with some community support, went out and put an initiative together, and we passed an open space district. And what that does is it's allowing us, everybody that voted for it, we pay in our taxes those dollars each year, and they are specifically allocated for open space. Today we have, our open space website, hikesantaclarita.com. It'll show you where all the open space is and where the trailheads are, where the trails are to get, and the complexity and what you need to go there. We passed by a big margin in 2007 with that. We now have over 9,000 acres of open space around Santa Clarita, and a lot of it bumps up against, urban communities, and it connects into the national forest. So the goal is to create that green belt all the way around. We're working on that. We have a lot more in the pipeline. Thanks to this community. This community stepped up and said, we want to be different. We want to have special places for our children, grandchildren, and all future generations. And we want to be healthier, and we want to enjoy nature. So we've done that, and look across America, because I had a look at that last year, and we are just about the only community that has done it this way. It is a progressive thing. So as somebody wants to sell and they're willing to sell to us, we purchase that, and in perpetuity, forever, it is your open space. It cannot be taken away. It cannot be built on. It's yours. And I love it. And I don't run into anybody that isn't excited about that.
It's wonderful. And all right, so this is a random question. Do you watch Parks and Rec?
Oh, I have. It makes me laugh.
I know, and I was wondering because, like, when we heard about the amazing work you guys are doing on the parks, I was like, she's a real life Leslie Knope.
Yes.
Yes,
That's true. And it was so crazy. It's the first time I went, oh yeah, that's happened. But it's very, it comes across, whoever wrote that really has experienced some of that, and they know, because they put together scripts that are fun, but they're based in some reality that's probably crosses the country. And people said to me, "Oh, you're going to have the most fun job being in Parks and Rec. That's going to be great. You're going to make everybody happy." Au contraire. Raises more questions. Put it here. Don't put it here. I don't want that. Put that. Do this. Do that. It's so fun. But we have, as a community, we have made a great department and a great program for what a city can be with its Parks and Rec. All you have to do is open the magazine every month for Parks and Rec, and you just go, oh, look at all the programs. You can learn almost everything, and the kids are healthier. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's really becoming very clear. We are raising tremendous artists and athletes in this valley, and golf to football. We are creating a force that's going out in the world, and they are incredible. They are spurred to do better. They have the facilities to do it. They're being challenged to do it. They're getting the support to do it. The parents know that their kids can be involved in really great things, and we keep adding more. And I love the fact that the youth is like, they're doing great. That's not happening in every community. So I think our Parks and Recreation Department's the best.
Wow, we totally agree with you. So you said that you had 7 horses?
I do.
Were they the inspiration for you to get involved with the animals and protection, or was it a dog or a cat?
Well, all these horses are rescues, and I was working on rescuing way back, and I ran into an abuse case here in the valley, which was one of the worst in the state, and I'm not going to go through that with you because we're having a really upbeat time. But it triggered me to go work on the law, and Supervisor Antonovich, which was right before Supervisor Barger, was very helpful. And so I went to the district attorney and I said, this got to stop. And he says, well, I can't stop. These people there's no law that we can stop them with. Animals are not deemed, they're personal property. They're not protected. So I got a felony wobbler through. So if you abuse animals, animal control can intercede and can help. So when you see people arrested, it's that law.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Well, I'm happy because I sleep better at night.
Quick question. So you seem to be really fascinated about Parks and Rec, right?
Yes.
Is that do you have a certain prized accomplishment that you've done in Parks and Recreation before?
I would say for this city, the most important and critical thing is the fact that we have an interconnected trail system that goes from urban out to thousands and thousands of acres of open space that you can go from urban to non-urban to nature in minutes without a car.
So that's your most prized accomplishment you've done.
I think it's
there.
one of the best accomplishments in America.
We agree with you.
I wish every community would do it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's so exciting to have you here, and looks like we're moving into a commercial break.
Yeah, so thank you for coming.
Yeah, with just
My
an
pleasure.
honor.
My
and
pleasure.
so, Robert, would you
You are
tell us
amazing.
about organization, please?
Yes, so before we go into commercial break, we wanted to let you know for a way to get involved. So the Shelter Hope Pet Shop Rescue helps a lot of animals. They're a great foundation. They help so many people and animals, and they're just great. Their phone number is 661-251-2861, and their website is shelterhopepetshop.org.
And I hate to leave, but we have to because we're going into a commercial break. But this is your hometown station, KHTS, and we'll be right back.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top-quality musicals and plays. Located in Old Town Newhall, the CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go to canyontheater.org.
Santa Clarita Philharmonic has begun its season of free concerts. The SCP is a non-profit community-based volunteer symphony orchestra comprised of local musicians from throughout the Santa Clarita Valley who are dedicated to providing quality classical music for the residents of the Santa Clarita Valley. Like the Santa Clarita Philharmonic on Facebook or visit santaclaritaphilharmonic.org for more information.
The City of Santa Clarita has so much going on this year. Be on the lookout for amazing events happening throughout the year, including the Cowboy Festival, concerts in the park, Thursdays at Newhall, and the Santa Clarita Marathon. There are also a number of fun activities and things to do year-round, including outdoor recreation, hiking and bike trails, adult classes, art exhibits, youth sports programs, and more. You can even sign up to be a volunteer. Learn more at santa-clarita.com.
Drugs or alcohol abuse can tear a family apart. In Santa Clarita, just like everywhere else, it's an epidemic. The Way Out Recovery is here to help. Call them now at 296-4444 or visit them on the web at thewayoutrocoveryscv.com. The Way Out offers outpatient treatment for adolescents, adults, and family members. The Way Out is compassionate, caring, professional, and confidential. You and your family don't have to suffer any longer. Call the Way Out Recovery now, 296-4444, or visit thewayoutrocoveryscv.com and make an appointment. Asking for help is the first step.
Did you know that SCVi has the only international baccalaureate program in our community? That means that students at Santa Clarita Valley International Public Charter School can participate in very rigorous classes run by highly trained and skilled international teachers. They work with kids to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Students with IB diplomas at select colleges can graduate with a full year credit at their university. Schedule a tour today online at scvi-k12.org or by calling 705-4820.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Back at your hometown station, KHTS, and today we have with us Mrs. Chris Nielsen. She is our SCVi college counselor, and she is the mother of 2 daughters and super active member of our community. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
I'm good. Thank you.
We're so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, for the first question in our interview, what are 5 things you're most thankful about Thanksgiving this year?
Well, I'm thankful for my family, for my job. I love my job at SCVi, for the kids that are there. Hopefully that there will be help out there in the world. We had a lot of tragedies this year, and I'm thankful that I'm safe and that I'm healthy, and I'm thankful that I get to kind of be here today.
Now, do you think Thanksgiving is probably your favorite holiday, or would it be Christmas, like everybody's?
Actually, it's Halloween, which I think is not everybody's. I think I just like the time of year of October, the decorations. You kind of get to be someone else for a day. But yes, I do love this time of year. So Thanksgiving and Christmas are right up there.
So Halloween, do you dress up every year? And tell us
do.
about some of your favorite costumes.
Goodness, one of my favorite costumes, I was Cruella de Vil a couple of times. And when my kids were little, they were obviously the Dalmatians. This last time, actually, I had fun at SCVi. We have a leadership team, and the only man on our leadership team was Gru, and we were his minions. So I was actually a purple minion this year, and I think they're kind of the meaner ones, but my favorite color is purple, so it was a perfect costume this year.
So can you talk like a minion? Can you do the minion?
No, and I haven't seen Despicable Me for maybe 5 years. So I don't know how they talk.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving this year? Any traditions?
Usually we have it at my parents' house. They actually had moved into an apartment, so we get to have it at our house this year. And funny thing is, I've never actually had to make a turkey. Yes, I actually have in-laws and I have family members that love to do all of that. So our tradition is to make the turnips. That's a huge brown, which is my maiden name tradition, is turnips. And we do Brussels sprouts. And this year, interestingly enough, we're having some vegan options because I have kind of gone vegan.
Really?
Good. What prompted you to go vegan? What
Well,
prompted you? Yeah.
Well, there's a documentary that a friend of mine had watched, and he said it changed his life. So I watched What the Health, and I don't necessarily want to promote that. I'm not here to promote that documentary, but when I did watch it, it really made sense to me. So when I started to become vegan, I felt better. I had more energy. It was just an interesting way of looking at things, and I have been supportive of it ever since.
Was it hard?
Yes, I love cheese. I love cheese, and unfortunately, vegan, you cannot really have any animal products, and so that has been the hardest thing for me is giving up cheese.
Have you tried the fake cheese?
I have. I've actually tried cashew cheese, which, believe it or not, tastes great. I've had almond cheese. I eat cashew milk ice cream. I really sometimes don't know the difference.
Now, since you're vegan, what is probably the one fruit and vegetable you eat the most?
Oh gosh, probably beans.
For vegetables?
I eat a lot of beans for vegetables. Yes, fruit, you can eat anything. So I'm not very upset that I'm not going to have turkey this year because I haven't really had a hard time giving it up.
Yeah. Like, I don't like turkey myself. I never eat it during Thanksgiving.
So for me, that's
Yeah.
easy. But the stuffing, I do love the stuffing. And interestingly enough, my mom has actually made vegan mashed potatoes. And they taste the same. You use almond milk, and they have this awesome butter out there that's completely plant-based. So I'm excited.
So you're always exploring new things, which sounds so wonderful. And in terms of exploring, you went from one job and now you're working at SCVi. And can you tell us a little bit about what you do at SCVi?
Yes, of course. I am actually the academic college and career advisor. So basically, I am there to make sure kids with their academics, with their class schedules, making sure their credits they have for graduation. But I'm also there to introduce and help them explore college fit. Not everyone has a college, and there's over 4,000 colleges in the United States, and I'm here to bring that information to our learners and make sure that they feel comfortable and have a stress-free process in exploring colleges themselves.
What do you think is the biggest challenge about preparing to go to college?
I think the challenge for a lot of our learners is the overwhelming feeling of where do I look? Where do I go? So right now I do have seniors in a college and career course. So we talk about there's different websites of applications. And I actually have kind of a base of colleges that I like to promote, colleges that change lives. There's about 44 of them in the United States. Looking at those small liberal arts colleges because I feel that any college over 3,000 kids isn't the best experience for a lot of people. That's a lot of students to be out of school. And since SCVi is small and we have that family-oriented community, kind of like Santa Clarita, I want to help them find a school that will fit them in the same way.
So how do you pick those colleges to, recommend? How do you pick them?
A great question. I actually have a wonderful mentor. She is our director of college counseling for iLead, and she works at our NoHo site. She's had a lot of experience. So the first thing that I did, I look in the FISC guide of 2018. There's one every year. There's also a book written by Lauren Pope called Colleges That Change Lives, and he talks about them. So I have had the luxury and the privilege of attending a few college conferences. So I just this year went to Boston and New York, and I actually take the time, I rent a car, and I drive out to see these colleges because I think that being there and seeing the campus in person. So I'm hoping to come back, and when I share those colleges with the learners, I think they're excited, because when we talk about college, most of the learners pick the same ones, the ones they know in California. And 35 years ago, when I was looking at college, I had to go to a UC school. That was what I was kind of told. You got to go to a UC school, and I think there's so many more colleges out there. I want kids to have the choice. I want them to know, hey, are you willing to go out of state? Hey, California's a big state. There's a lot of different places you can go. And then they get to make that choice. They get to make an educated choice.
Now, you are a college counselor. What exactly did you have to go through to become a college counselor?
Well, I think actually this was not the road that I started on when I went to college. I actually have been a social worker, so I did have to go to school for that. So I imagine a bachelor's degree. Mine was in sociology. And then I had the opportunity to teach at a private school. So I got into education, and I taught. I was the dean. I was actually the director. And I don't know, I think my dream, I've always wanted to work at the high school level, and I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to work with kids. So I had the opportunity at SCVi to be the college counselor. And coming into this job last year, I didn't know a lot about colleges. And I am having so much fun going out and finding out about these colleges. And I think what's so rewarding is I didn't really have the opportunity at my high school to work with someone to help me to kind of find that best fit. And I ended up attending UC Irvine, and I left that school because I wasn't really happy. And I went to Cal State Northridge, and I was very happy there. So I'm so happy to be able to provide that attention to these kids and help them through that process that they may not be able to have had before.
It's really interesting.
So since we're kind of following the Thanksgiving theme, you've actually volunteered for a lot of organizations. You've worked with Toys for Tots, American Heart Association, and many more. And what made you choose those particular charities?
I think Pinecrest Schools, which is now closed, I worked for there for many years, about 35 years, and I was in charge of the student council. So working with a wide variety of ages of groups of kids, pretty much 4th grade through 8th grade at the time. I think kind of dear to their heart, especially around Christmas time, you've got Toys for Tots, and I've worked with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and we've raised money for them. Jump for Heart, we do that for the Heart Association, so the kids can be involved, and that's how I got kind of turned on to those things. Being a principal and a director, I was able to have these organizations come to our school. And not only do we actually do the fundraising, but our student council had the ability to, for example, go to Toys or Tots, the warehouse, and actually help distribute those toys. And we've gone to the Ventura County Food Share program. And it was interesting, there's actually high school students, they actually grow their own vegetables. They've taught them how to do that. And actually, one of the times that we volunteered, we were out in their garden pulling weeds. So I was down on my knees pulling weeds because that's what they needed to prepare to grow more vegetables. So I've had great opportunities.
So our school actually has a student council. Would you think of trying to help us do that or something like that?
I think that would be awesome. I think getting out in the community, and part of that student council is a service council. And not only are they the liaison between the learners and the administration, but getting out in the community, because normally, we're busy, we have lives, we have school, we have work, and I think it's hard to think of those places. And I think getting out there and meeting all those different people, I'm always awe-inspired when I go to these places, and for those people who have created these organizations and all of the work they've put into it is amazing. And without that, we wouldn't have that help out there. And I love being a part of that. So I would love to have our advisory council get involved.
Out of all the community service places you volunteered for, what do you think is probably your favorite?
I'd have to say probably the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which it's for cancer research. But in a fun way to raise money for them, we had a competition, and every class or every homeroom would collect pennies, and all the pennies had points. If they had silver or dollars in their box at the end of the day, those would be negative points. So what kids were doing all day is sabotaging all the other classrooms. So at the end, whoever had the most points got to go to a movie and a lunch with their teacher and kind of have fun. But it's amazing on the last day of the fundraiser to have parents wheeling in $500 worth of pennies, because that's 50,000 points. And all of that goes to leukemia and lymphoma. So in the past, in a small school, let's say we had 120, we raised over $5,000 for that society. And they come out to our school, and it's so exciting.
Did your team win?
No, in fact, I was the director at the time, so I didn't get to. But I have had the same teacher win both the points and then how much money they bring in, which is so I would say I think the most a classroom has brought in was $1,500 in a matter of 2 weeks.
How proud.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. And I think, competition, I understand it's all to help the kids, but it kind of puts a little bit more fun in the money that was brought in. And the other thing is I had student council on a daily basis. We would keep track of the competition, and they would count the money. We would count it by hand. Every penny, every dime, nickel, and then I would take buckets of change to the local supermarket where they have Coinstar, and you don't have to pay. Leukemia Lymphoma has their own button with Coinstar because they're a charity. So all that money that I'm putting in, literally hours, I'm standing there putting in the coins of money, and then I send those receipts to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and they raise all that money.
And you said that the student council chooses a charity. So did you recommend that, or did they go out into the community and do research and go, oh, this is what I want to do?
They actually did some research, and I think for a lot of the kids, some of it was personal experience of what their families had kind of helped in the past. A long time ago, I also would do the Nuts for Mutts walk, and basically you're walking your dog, and it's going to an organization that helps homeless dogs and animals, and there's so much out there, and I think to make it appropriate, to make it feel good for the kids, I think having a voice of what they get to do is so helpful. And they have great ideas, and I've actually learned about organizations that I would not have known about if we hadn't had student council do that.
Do you have any plans to volunteer soon?
I don't have immediate plans, but I would love to, especially now that I do live in Simi Valley, so I haven't been part of the Santa Clarita. I did work here as a social worker years ago, about 20 years ago. So I think I would like to actually be part of things out here in the Santa Clarita Valley, since this is kind of my second home because I work out here in Castaic. So I would love to be part of things out here to get me to know the community, meet people in the community. It'd be so fun.
Bella, I loved your idea about the student council getting involved in a community service and inspiring that. What do you think we would need to do to get that going? Because I love that idea.
I think we have actually Miss Harrison and Miss Senna run our advisory council, and I think at their meetings it would be a great way talking about this time of year. Of course, there's a lot of things to do, and I think what we did actually do at my previous job, we actually looked in April. For example, having like a canned food drive, like everyone is so motivated around the holidays, which is wonderful. But then the banks kind of run out in April. So I believe we've had those kind of things in the spring because they're needed there as well. So talking to the council, having those kids do some research, what's really needed in Santa Clarita to get them out in the community, I think we just got to bring it up at a meeting.
It could be April showers bring May flowers, and we're flowering the community.
I like that, Cindy. I like that a lot.
Thank you very much, Chris.
That's wonderful.
Now, you're not only a college counselor, but you're also a mother of 2 kids. Do you get your kids involved in community service as well as you?
I do. In fact, they actually went to the school that I worked at for many years. And as they've gotten older, it's been a little bit more difficult because they both play sports, and so we're kind of traveling everywhere for that. But yes, anytime that I would go to these events, especially if they were on student council, they would go with me. It's very important for them to be part of that as well.
Do you volunteer at their sports? Do you help sell food to the people?
Sometimes, yes. We have to do volunteer for soccer and basketball, so yes, I will do that. Even the simple fundraisers of Jamba Juice cards, whatever that is. I do like to be involved. I don't like to spread myself too thin because those certain things I need to do. I want to make sure I give my quality time. But yes, I do try to do as much as I can.
What's your greatest takeaway from these charities?
Wow. I think the greatest takeaway for me is meeting new people, kind of seeing. It's kind of a reality check, I think, in the busy bustle of work and holidays and, spending and all of that. It really makes me realize what's important. And, having family, having a meal on the table, those are things that a lot of families don't have. And I feel privileged to be able to help those families get those things they need. And I love being exposed to different organizations and what they do. There's so many charities out there, and I know a lot of our movie stars and a lot of famous people, they have a lot of cool things that they do, and it fascinates. I've actually always wanted to do Habitat for Humanity. I've always wanted to build houses. I used to want to go into the Peace Corps before I went into college, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do that. But I think there's so many out there, and I just want to see what's out there I can do.
Now, Black Friday is coming up. Also,
Yes.
after that, are you going to go Christmas shopping?
No. I went to Black Friday a couple years ago, and it was actually Thanksgiving night at about midnight. There were no coffee shops open, so I was so tired. And, you kind of get out there, and I guess it's an experience. But unfortunately, I am a Amazon shopper.
I don't think that's unfortunate at all.
Okay, because I live
wonderful.
on Amazon, and so a lot of times I can get great deals through there. I like my sleep.
Amazon does Black Friday?
They actually have like a Black Monday,
Yeah,
or
it's Black
they
Monday.
do.
Yeah.
And I'm to be honest with you, I'm not that great with deals. Sometimes I spend money that I probably shouldn't, but I do like to go kind of in the hustle and bustle of a mall sometimes at a regular holiday time. But I look forward to Christmas and the holiday, not so much for the spending, but because of the atmosphere. And I love what they do right on here out in front of KHTS, this whole main street of lights. I didn't know that this happened, so this is exciting.
They have the tree up by the New Hall Library, and you have the whole Santa welcome, and it's so
even in the radio
cool.
station is decorated. I'm already thinking of Christmas, but yet we still have Thanksgiving, right? Exactly. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
What also is exciting, which I didn't realize, is that there is a shop local on Saturday. So they have Black Friday, shop local on Saturday.
Oh,
so
I
you
love
can,
that.
You can support your local community by shopping at local stores, which
Oh,
I think
that's
is
great.
pretty super.
Oh, I do too. That's great.
Yeah. Talk about giving back, helping
Definitely.
out on a local level. So that's
Excellent.
terrific.
Yes.
So, Robert, speaking of giving back, do you want to tell us about another organization that we can support?
Yeah, so you can go to SantaClaritaVolunteers.com, and it's a website where you can find volunteer work where they need volunteers. So yeah, go to that website. It's SantaClaritaVolunteers.com, and all you have to do is sign up. It's completely free, and they tell you where to go to help volunteer and get support for the community.
And then there's also the Family Promise of Santa Clarita Valley. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
There's also a Family Promise. They support services for families, and they help each other out. So it's a great community part. Their phone number is 661-258-2868. That's 661-258-2868.
And this is our hometown station,
Yes.
right, Nathan?
This is our hometown station, KHTS, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that SCVi has the only international baccalaureate program in our community? That means that students at Santa Clarita Valley International Public Charter School can participate in very rigorous classes run by highly trained and skilled international teachers. They work with kids to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Students with IB diplomas at select colleges can graduate with a full year credit at their university. Schedule a tour today online at scvi-k12.org or by calling 705-4820.
Fruit arranged like flowers? What a delicious idea! Edible Arrangements specializes in creating a variety of fresh fruit arrangements overflowing with fresh, hand-designed fruit and filled with strawberries, pineapple, grapes, cantaloupe, honeydew, and seasonal favorites. Made to order in a size you select and ready to eat and enjoy. You can even add chocolate to any arrangement. Edible Arrangements is always fresh, always appropriate, and always appreciated. Order yours today, 253-0052 or ediblearrangements.com. Edible Arrangements is on Soledad near Bouquet Canyon.
Imagine this. You're taking a walk at dusk, and then an explosion happens overhead. But a good explosion. Fireworks are cascading down around you. You take a step, another goes off. Wherever you go, fireworks follow. It's like the universe is telling you how awesome you are because you are awesome, obviously. That's what it feels like when there's a Century 21 Troop real estate agent in the house. Find yours at 661-705-0700. Smarter, bolder, faster. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Tucked away in the east side of our valley is the most delicious steakhouse. Steaks cooked to perfection using premium beef only found in the finest restaurants. Bergey's is the place. Steaks, burgers, and so much more. Restaurants come and go in our valley. Bergey's is different. They've been around since 1990, serving steaks, fish, and entertaining the neighborhood locals. Fantastic food, fun, and friends. You'll find them at Bergey's on Sand Canyon, right at the 14 next to the mobile station. Bergey's, it's worth crossing our valley.
KHTS.
Hello, and we are back at your hometown station, KHTS, sorry. And we want to thank our guests, Miss Chris Nilsson, who is still here right now, and the Mayor Pro Tem, Miss Laurene Weste. Miss Nilsson, how did this overall feel to you?
Awesome. This is the first time I have ever been on any type of radio show, and it was so fun, and I didn't even know this was here, down here on Main Street, and it was great. And you guys were great. It was so fun. Thank you again. It was a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was my first time too. I didn't know this place was here, to be honest. This is my first time. How about you, Nathan? How do you feel?
Well, I've been here for pretty much quite a long time, actually. I started last year, and I'm still going to do it. I'm probably even going to continue doing electives at my school for this class throughout the rest of maybe into to my senior year, because this is just a fun class.
It is awesome.
And Bella, how about you?
Yeah, it was definitely different than like the first time I went on air, because instead of being interviewed, we're the ones interviewing, and we did do some preparations for that, and that was really fun. I think that like it's going to be different. Like you have to like have more of like an open mind about what to say, what to ask, and it was really fun. It was like really interesting to be a part of this.
What I really loved, and I would love for you guys to chime in and tell me what you think. I have learned so many interesting things getting to sit in this chair. I got an opportunity to know what the Mayor Pro Tem is. I didn't know that, and about our parks, and I didn't know about nuts for mutts. What kind of things did you guys learn?
I learned that Mayor Pro Tem did make the animal abuse law. That was cool. That was something I was like really interested in.
I learned about the fact that we have miles upon miles of trails and parks surrounding Santa Clara Valley, and not just the valley, but like the city, I think she said. It just surprises me how much you can accomplish in such short notice.
And the difference between valley and city.
Isn't it cool? Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, and I learned that there's a person that's like helps the mayor, like an assistant kind of, and it's really stressful. What about you, Miss Nelson?
Yeah, I didn't really even know what that term was until I listened to this show. And since we're talking about thankfulness, I thank you guys for doing such a great job and putting me at ease for my first radio interview. You guys did a great job, and I think I did a better job because of you. So thank you so much.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that we had two amazing guests. You were just a total joy. Robert, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for the family and getting this opportunity to come here. What about you, Bella?
I'm thankful for my family, and the things I do and the community we live in. What about you, Nathan?
I'm thankful for just about everything I have. This school giving me the opportunity to do this, and just being in this class with an amazing teacher like you.
Oh gosh, this is so nice. So I guess what we want to say to everybody is that we can all be part of the community and to really enjoy this Thanksgiving holiday, right?
Yes.
Sit back. Does anybody else want to wish anyone a happy Thanksgiving? Go ahead. Or
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Go out, go help your community. You can go to Santa Clarita Valley volunteers.com, and they'll give you jobs to go and work for free and volunteer and help with everything you can. What about you, Nathan?
Well, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Make sure to eat a lot of food, because it's the time for eating food, and to also help volunteer just about wherever you can.
Bella, I think you want to take us home.
You have been listening to KHTS, your hometown radio, and
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Yay!
Yay!
We're so glad.
Thank you.